Hi everyone, I'm Farah from the Couplings Foundation, and today in our Make a Difference series, we are chatting with Deneal, and her Instagram handle is Root Wellness Nutrition. Deneal, do you want to say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name's Deneal. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, and I specialize in working with hormone and menstrual health. And I have a huge passion just for helping women and people who menstruate to really improve their own connection with their menstrual cycles and overall symptoms in general. Um, yeah, I really love this space, and yeah, it is definitely been a huge passion of mine, and I love what you guys do as well.
Oh,
With the
thank you.
company.
I think it's
Mhm.
a little bit hard, like when someone says introduce yourself, it's a bit hard to kind of take that huge body of what you do and what you're passionate about and try and put it into one little sentence.
Totally, yeah, yeah.
You're
It's
like, how
big.
do I say it and show my passion and try and put my mission in there?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's
um,
there's a lot that goes into it, but yeah, overall it's been it's a learning experience for me too, because I've just been this own journey of like learning with my clients kind of, and working with my clients to kind of um yeah, just like tap into that our like own power within our menstrual cycle.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's been really, really awesome to learn more.
So I have how I like to do these little Make a Difference series is as much as I've looked at your Instagram profile,
Mm-hmm.
I try to make these authentic as possible. So I don't want to go digging too much and like learn about you before and then try and make questions. I don't want it to be inauthentic.
Sure. Okay.
So when I ask you all these questions as well, it's also for me to know who you are.
Yeah,
So yeah, I've
absolutely.
had a peep. I've seen you do like nutrition with like the menstrual cycle, helping girls
Mhm.
to not have sore periods and period cramp stuff. That's
Yes.
absolutely amazing. Um, because I don't know if I said this to you earlier, but I'm also a nutritionist.
Awesome.
But I
Nice.
haven't gone into as much as my company and our foundation are in the menstrual health space.
Yep.
Um, that's not my space in nutrition. Mine's more
Okay.
working with like cancer patients and all of that stuff,
Mhm.
like
Right.
disease. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really nice because you can't go into every space in nutrition. So it's really nice
Totally.
to have someone like you who could also help someone like me who's a nutritionist
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. Yeah, I totally get that. It's like you kind of have to focus on one area because there's so much to know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's I'm still learning a lot about this area as well, because yeah, but
If I could ask, how did you get into maybe nutrition and then into the menstrual health side of it
mm,
too?
yeah, nutrition, I always had kind of this inkling to explore like the health and wellness area, and I wasn't really sure which way to take that. um, and after some of my own research and looking into just more about the holistic space, I thought that nutrition was such a good place to start, because it really impacts so much of our life, the way that we eat and our diet.
Yeah.
um, so I thought that that was, yeah, a really good kind of starting point for me. And when I was in my program, I just kind of fell in love with like hormone health and the way our bodies work. um, and it really sparked something in me because I had I had some issues with my own menstrual health, like, growing up, always having really
Yeah.
bad period pains,
It always
really heavy
starts with our own
cycle.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And just not really having the resources or not really knowing what to do, and being told that it's normal and that it's just something that I'm gonna have to deal with.
Get on the
Um,
pill, it'll sort
get on
everything
the
out. Yeah.
pill.
Yeah.
Exactly, which ended up kind of leading to more issues within my gut health. And
Yeah.
yeah, so, and then aside from my own issues, just also realizing how many people around me and my friends and my family and you know, coworkers, everybody that I could think of has had some sort of issues with their own menstrual cycle. And um, yeah, it just seemed like an area that's been, there's just not, there wasn't enough support. And I think that it's really becoming more now. Um, and yeah, just like getting more into the space, I'm seeing that there's uh, a lot more support now around all of that. So yeah, it's really cool to see. But I think it kind of started within myself, and then also seeing how many people could be impacted by
Yeah.
improving.
I think
the
so
menstrual-
many people are affected by it, but there's no space
Yeah,
for us to talk about it. We think we're the only ones.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes there's some shame around it too,
Yeah.
maybe.
So
Mhm.
especially like here where we are, there's shame already just speaking about periods, just the word period. And I think that stems from, I always say, why we started our foundation. I think it stems from girls not even being able to afford a period product.
Yeah,
So I would also have shame if I had a leaf or a tea towel down there. When
absolutely.
I even say down there because you can't even just saying the word vagina for them is just like no. So
No,
yeah, I would also feel shame and guilt having to have something on me that wasn't a proper menstrual product during my menstrual cycle.
yeah,
But maybe
absolutely.
that's where it all stemmed from because it's still a big stigma and taboo. And I think
Right.
having these kind of talks and series with everyone in the menstrual space will open it up and say, hey guys, we're all here. If it's not
Yeah.
Farah, it'll be Deneal. You can chat to anyone about this.
Mhm.
It's not like a taboo anymore.
No, and it's something that really needs to be normalized. This is our lives. This is, you know, every single month of our, like, not our entire
Yeah,
lives, a good portion of our lives is spent menstruating. So
exactly.
it's, yeah, it's something that should be honored, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So have you found like with your nutrition side, then you got into nutrition, got into the menstrual health side of it. Did you start to fix your own issue? Is that how it first kickstarted? And then you said you wanted to help others. How did it then go from there?
I think that the major issue that I was noticing was like this um just so many women dealing with pain associated with their periods too.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I think that I don't know exactly where that stems from, but I'm sure it stems from a lot of different areas, and possibly this shame and like kind of, you know, pushing it down for so long and being
yeah,
detached from our cycles too, as well as just maybe poor lifestyle habits, or um,
yeah,
like a diet that's not supporting our hormones. Um, yeah, there's like there's patterns that in ways that we're living that just don't seem to be supportive, and it's not working anymore. Now we're noticing that we have to make changes. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I feel like when you come from the nutrition space,
Mhm.
um, like I don't know how to say this really. So when others like people ask me, is a menstrual cup going to hurt? Is it going to make my
Mm.
cramps worse? I'm like, it's so hard from a nutritional space to say, right, guys, it's actually a foundation that you need to fix. It's not the cup, it's not the tampon, it's not the pad. I feel as a nutritionist, I'm always trying to get people down to grassroots.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's almost meeting people where they're at a little bit, because
yeah,
there's some questions like that that yeah, is it going to hurt, or um yeah, like kind of, again, like the shame around even maybe insertion, or like kind of being scared of that aspect of it too.
yeah,
I totally understand. I love my menstrual cup. I've been using mine for like
yeah.
many years. It's so good. It's the best.
I know. I was speaking to another girl, she's actually a doctor, and we
Yeah.
called ourselves like the cup cult because I think when you use the menstrual cup, it's like you just want to convert everyone.
Totally.
It's just so
Totally.
amazing. I just don't know how to explain to everyone. It's not that I'm even in this industry, this
Mhm.
foundation, and then that's why I'm promoting it. I actually
Right.
have been using it for 9 years and I absolutely love it.
Love it for sure.
Yeah.
Once I made the switch, I was like, wow, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And And I think the sad thing is we live in a world that's driven by money. So, of course, menstrual cups were around before, I think, when the tampons got popular. But obviously they weren't going to make companies money because they last 5 to 10 years, some cups. So yeah, I always say to people, they're like, why is the menstrual cup suddenly so popular? And I was like, money driven.
Totally.
Yeah.
So that's a question that I would have for you.
Yeah.
How do you distribute, or how can you, I mean, is it a complete non-for-profit that you're running at the moment, and you, like, is it by donations, or how does that work?
Yeah, so basically the Couplings Foundation was always a passion of mine because I grew up in Botswana. I don't know if you know where Botswana is.
Sort of.
Just above South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was born in South Africa, grew up in Botswana, so this is my home. And I've always grown up around a lot of people like in poverty, with period poverty as well. So it was always a mission for me to like make solutions to problems. So when I found out how amazing the cup was, I was like, I've got to share this with everyone. But then I was like, am I actually creating another problem by giving someone one cup? Because using a menstrual cup, there's different sizes. So I was like, oh, if I go and give the girls over there who don't have period products a small, what if they need a large? What if they need an extra small? What if they're a virgin? As a virgin, I'd be scared to just use the small one. I need the extra small. So I was like, it took me about 2 to 3 years to develop this kit and all of, what we're doing now. So I don't know if you've seen our kit online or if you've seen it on our website. It's basically 3 cups with a little sterilizer pot and a carry pouch. So I was like, with that, a girl will be sorted for 10 years. Whether she is a small and then she has a baby and moves to a large. So that's where the kit creation came from. Then a lot of my friends and people we were speaking to was like, what if we wanted to buy a kit for ourselves? I was like, okay. So as well as our foundation, we've now got a company as well. So our company creates these kits, which also I couldn't find anyone to source the kits for me. So what's now, I don't know, like the Rand US dollar conversion, but what's costing me 399 on retail to give a girl would have cost me like 2,000 Rand.
Wow.
So I've literally created this kit with like no profit associated with it, even in our company, which people would think I'm crazy, but the company was not the main thing. The company was just a little break off from that, supplying kits and making sure that I am in control of the quality of these things. Because I don't know, I'm quite a controlling person like that. I don't know if I could trust that it's like properly FDA approved. I mean, our silicon's from Germany, even though the kits are created in China. So for me, it was so important to have like my finger on the trigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why we have, to explain, that's why we have the foundation and the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But again, it's like, if anyone looked at our business model in the company, they'd be like, why are you doing this? There's no profit, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
But what's really nice is the company donates money as well, so that any foundation we work with, not just Couplings Foundation, but there's a few foundations around Africa we work with. So the actual company donates to them to actually do the admin work and to teach the girls on menstrual health and everything.
Wow, awesome.
For us, it's not about distributing kits. It's like there's so much more to it. Like you say, breaking the stigmas, breaking the taboos, teaching them about a menstrual cycle. We can't give them a cup and expect them to know how long their period's meant to be. Like all of that takes time and takes money for a foundation to do.
For sure.
So I know there's a lot of foundations out there. A lot of foundations out there can't afford the admin costs just to get transport to the girls they're trying to help. So it's not even really about our foundation. We're trying to create this, like I always say, this tree with lots of branches. And all of us are just feeding into the same mission.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so right now we're just getting donations from people around the world, people we know. Hopefully we can tap into governments. I think it's really important for government to, even if it's not donations towards us, any foundation, governments need to take initiative here, because girls cannot control the fact that they bleed every month.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah.
need the resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a huge education piece as well that you guys work with.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would
That's
love, I know I'm saying this like on the recording in front of everyone, but I'd love for us to work together like in the future, and maybe come up with like a little program for the girls who would need some help here with like period pains and everything, because girls are suffering here.
I would absolutely love that as well.
That would be
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Yeah, and I think that I honestly I couldn't really think of anything that would be more gratifying for me, because it's yeah, I know that there's people that are suffering here too, but I just think that the resources are much more needed in places like where you are.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, my heart breaks. We went to an amazing school here and donated, I think it was 120 kits. And I had to hold my tears back on stage in front of the girls. They couldn't, when I said to them they could wear this for 12 hours, well, up to 12 hours, and they could use it for 10 years, like they were so shocked. It was like I literally gave them a lotto ticket that was guaranteed for them to win.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
Wow.
So I had to hold back my tears. I was like, I almost had an angry face in some of my pictures where I look like I don't care, because I didn't want to cry in front of everyone.
For sure. For sure. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. That like, gave me chills actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I've even got teary-eyed now. It's so sweet. Now back onto you, because that's enough about me. I want to know more about like what you're hoping to achieve with your mission, like just what you want others to know about what you're doing.
Yeah, I definitely think it's still developing. It's still kind of, it shifts all the time, but I really want to inspire this deeper connection with the menstrual cycle, and I just really, I hope that through my work I can kind of show women that it's something to be proud of and something that you could potentially even look forward to. And yeah, just to have it be a really kind of integrated part of their life and not something that they're dreading, or yeah, something that they're kind of like scared or shameful of. Yeah, so I really hope to just kind of work with women to get them symptom-free periods, and through that help them connect to their cycles and their bodies a lot more.
So if someone was to say to you, can I have a symptom-free period?
Yes, I would say yes. Yeah.
That's awesome, because a lot of people say that you can't.
I know, and I think you know, it's probably really different as to, you know, accessing different things for, say, for example, like supplementation. Where I am, it's very easy to access something like that, and it might be different, you know, like in different places. But I think that through different lifestyle habits and proper nutrition and yeah, just kind of like supporting your body in different ways, prioritizing rest as well, and you know, like just the things that we kind of we push through too hard a little bit some of the time. Yeah, I think that it is possible, and it's not always going to be perfect. There's always going to be something, you know, that we kind of have to have like the tools in order to then support our body. But yeah, I have experienced that change for myself, going from periods that had me crying and feeling I was gonna, you know, vomit, or like I couldn't get off the couch, couldn't go to work or any of that, to now it's completely integrated into my life, and yeah, it's like, it's so possible, for sure, for sure.
I noticed with myself when I stopped using synthetic hormones in the pill, I
Yeah.
suddenly, like, I stopped just because intuitively I wasn't feeling it.
Hmm.
And I stopped when I wasn't supposed to. I just, one day I woke up and I said, I'm not taking it anymore.
Yeah.
And it says you're meant to finish the whole pack. And I was like, I can't. So as soon as I did that, I felt like I was one with my body. I think it took me like 3, 4 days. And suddenly it's like, it's weird. It's like my heart and my mind were talking. I was
Yes.
like, whoa.
It's so crazy. We don't actually understand how, I think it's like, we just don't get that education when we're put on the pill, that that's what actually happened. And it's funny that you say that your heart and your head were talking, because literally that is what the pill does, is it turns off the connection between our brain and our ovaries, you
Wow.
know, so they're not speaking anymore.
Wow.
Um,
So it's just like autopilot down there, and then here's trying to figure out what's going on.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's such a
Wow.
disconnect. And I think that's, yeah, an interesting piece, because you kind of, like you said, you become more connected to your body when you
Yeah.
want to do it, like, you know, probably shortly after too, right? It's like, yeah.
And definitely nutrition definitely does help because like right now I've just finished my period. And it was the first period that I've been off the pill.
Okay.
When I was younger, they put me on it for my skin.
Right.
I think a lot of girls who start on the pill is because of their skin.
Acne, for sure. For
So I
sure.
was like, I wonder if it's going to be heavy, especially with my cup now. I'm so in tune with my flow that now I
Right.
could compare the pill cup and the off the pill cup. It was the same flow. Which when you speak to girls, they're like, oh, I know a lot of them,
Interesting.
like, the pill makes their period less. So I was like, I wonder if I'll be like that. And it wasn't. It was amazing. I didn't have a cramp. The only time I had cramps was when I stopped the pill, because obviously there was change in hormones.
For
They were
sure.
the worst cramps. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was so excited now. Like, so even today, I wasn't moody this whole period. And I was like, this is awesome. And nutrition definitely works. I've been staying off all the sugars, all of that, like gluten and all the inflammatory foods. Just
For
giving
sure.
myself very wholesome healing
Yes.
food. Lots of
Yes.
fruit I've been on too.
Amazing. Yeah, that's the ticket. And there is, you know, there's the possibility of that transition period of, you know, take your body taking some time to get to where it needs to be after coming off of synthetic hormones. But yeah, I think because you're probably already really in tune with your body and you're already kind of supporting yourself through nutrition, that it's just a really easy transition for you. Right?
Yeah. And I think, like you said, like a lot of us are so privileged to have supplements. So I've been pumping my supplements, but I also feel like the people who aren't privileged enough to have them, I think their food in the land where they grow like everything, I think it's so rich in nutrients that I think whether you're having supplements or your actual food, I think everyone can get the nutrients that they need.
Totally. I agree. I agree. Yeah. I would say the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, because I traveled to the UK during the pandemic to go be with my grandma. So I was over there for 2 years and everything just tastes different.
Yeah.
I came back here and I'm like, I'm back in South Africa now and I'm like, oh my gosh, a banana actually tastes like a banana.
Wow.
I can
Yeah.
taste the difference. Like, it's so sweet. It's like I've taken a spoonful of sugar and put it in my mouth.
Wow.
Whereas in the UK, I could smell the banana, but the taste was like rubbery.
Right. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of fake, artificial, maybe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
literally all I've done, I've turned into a little bit of a fruitarian here because everything, I'm just enjoying the sugar of all the fruits.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I would too. I would too if I had that access to those fresh fruits. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Anytime I ever get the chance to go traveling, I feel like I only eat fruits, because I'm like, wow, they are so good, so different. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. Can I ask, if there's any advice you'd like to give someone? If someone said, what's your top advice, nutrition-wise and menstruation or hormones, what would you say? If you could pick one, because I know it's a bit hard.
Yeah, if I could pick one, I'd say really focusing as much as possible on whole foods is really, really important.
Yeah.
Trying to cut out as much of the processed stuff as possible.
Yeah.
And that I think doing that in itself is really it's gonna lead to so many other things in the
I love
body.
that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things I
There's
could
so many.
say.
I know. I can see your brain. It's like I want to
I'm like,
say this
ah,
one. I did
yeah.
say to the girls that I do help, like when we give out the kits and stuff, I was like, you look at first world countries and you wish that you were them. I know the girls always wish that they were in a first world country. And I say, but you know how privileged you are? What your grandparents taught you is the nutrition you should stay on, because first world is so processed right now.
Yeah.
And it's so go, go, go that you need processed food like on the go. Like it's just so convenient. And I said, you girls need to go back to your ancestors and see what they ate, because it's all wholesome, nutritious food.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all need to go back.
Absolutely. And it's like even more than that, it's like the connection to the land that the first world countries are missing out on completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
in the UK, like every morning, even in the cold, I'm out there on the grass grounding myself. I'm just trying to find sun. Yeah. Yeah. It's the land, the connection to the land.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. And I miss that in where I am currently too, is this like connection to nature, because I'm living in a pretty big city, and
Yeah.
it's something that I always thought I kind of wanted to do, but now that I'm in it, it's like I don't know if this is for me. Sorry?
Do you feel a bit stifled? Like,
Yeah. Like it just doesn't feel like a natural way of living. It's like this concrete jungle.
yeah.
And it's yeah, it's different, but
Yeah.
there's good things about it too. It's just realizing more of what I think I want for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important in life, because we all, like, everything's going to have its ups and downs.
Absolutely.
And even though we point out what we don't like about something, it doesn't mean that we don't see the good in it.
Totally.
So yeah, it's really important, like every day, just to see the good, but also say, you know what, maybe this is not permanent for me. It's my little temporary phase, and I'm going to go where I need to go for this phase of my life.
Exactly. It's a stepping stone.
Yeah, and that's what I felt that I was like every time I was in England. I was like, you know what, I'm here for my grandma. This is my purpose right now, to make sure through this pandemic she's safe.
Yeah.
And who better than someone who calls himself a nutritionist who helps diseases, right?
Right.
So yeah, she went through the whole pandemic, didn't catch anything, super healthy at 90, well, she's 83.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And I like to say to people, like, we don't just say that we're nutritionists or that we help people in this. I like to show people.
Right. Yeah. That's where it comes from, right? Is like we can talk about it, but if we're not actually helping people with like our actions and our support, then it's not as fulfilling.
Yeah. But I think all the girls are going to look up to you so much, like the ones we're working with. Like after they watch this video, after they see you, they're going to be like, wow, there is someone who can help us.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Especially just talking about it as well. It's, like I say, it's just breaking, not even, I don't even know if stigma is the word, just breaking that barrier. Like, hey, we can even talk about it amongst ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. And community within women, like that. Yeah. We're all going through the same thing. We're all in it together. Yeah. Yeah. You're like never alone.
Yeah. So if someone did want to work with you, like anyone who's going to be watching this, how do they get hold of you? Do they just DM you, email you?
Yeah, they can DM me. They can, I do have a link in my bio as well where you can set up a call with me. Whatever's easier. But DM me, I can send you my email. I also have a private Facebook group where we discuss different issues around menstrual health and just different tips and things that I share there. So if you wanted to join that, that's also in the link in my bio. And
oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with your clients, do you have like a certain time frame program, or is it tailored per person?
It can definitely be tailored per person, but usually I do like to work, so I work one-on-one with my clients, and I like to set up a time frame of about 3 months.
Nice.
Because I do think, when we're working with something like menstrual cycle issues or hormonal imbalances, it can take some time and consistency to see those improvements. So I do like to work for ideally 3 months, but it can definitely be tailored to wherever my client's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that one-on-one support throughout, either bi-weekly calls or weekly calls for the 3-month period.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
that. Do you feel like anyone just like they start to depend on you, or do you feel like after those 3 months they're like, okay, I can do this now?
I really hope that throughout the 3 months I'm giving them all the information and the tools that they can then feel, that they can do it on their own.
Yeah.
That I'm there if they do need support, but that I hope, that's kind of the goal, is for me to pass on the information in a digestible way, that it's not super overwhelming, but that they feel like, okay, I think I've got a handle on this, and I think I can, take this and kind of run with it.
I love it. Love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say before we end this call? Any questions? Any little bits of info about yourself?
Not so much, but I mean, for anybody that's watching it and feels like that they want to reach out to me or have any questions or just need some support, like I'm always happy to talk and chat about these things. And it's something that I am really passionate about, and it really lights a fire within me to talk about these things. So
I can see your eyes your eyes have this glow in them. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, I would be happy to talk to anyone about any of these things. So
awesome. And we'll also link all of your things in this, I guess, in the captions of the video and whatnot, so anyone can get a hold of you. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. Awesome.
Thank you so much. And thank you for spending I don't know if it's morning or evening there.
It's morning here. Yeah.
Thank you for spending your morning with me.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I thank you for reaching out, and I'm excited to keep in contact and just see where this all kind of goes for your foundation as well.
Well, thank you. And I also just love connecting in this space. I feel like we're so powerful together.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it needs to be. We need to work together through all this.
Yeah, like a community. We're all like links in the big chain.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. And we will keep in touch.
Okay. So lovely to meet you.
You too. Have a lovely day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.